Hey guys, here's the stock exhaust manifold. Developed a crack here a few years back, and dudes at the some guys I know at a local shop, they welded it up for me. I mean, it worked, but I was like, I don't want to sink the kind of money they want for these cast iron, into that. So that's why I went with that trail gear rock ripper. And maybe it might give me a little bit of more power, so we will see. But I'm gonna hop in there. I just got the header on it. I'm gonna fire it up and just see what it sounds like. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty comical, but let's check it out. All right, let's see if it'll run. Guys, I'm mocking up the rock ripper header here, and I wasn't even going to film it because I'm just in too much pain. I was in a car accident a few years back. Anyhow, I'm not going to get into all that, but it's just totally ruined my life. I'm in chronic pain all the time, and I can't even hardly do this type of stuff anymore. And throwing the filming on top of all of it it makes it worse. Anyhow, there's no videos on this rock ripper installation, and I like to consult all the information I can before I start a project, even though I'm pretty handy and can make up my own things if necessary. But it's always nice to consult some information. But anyway, I'm in the process of mocking it up, and I can't even hardly get down on my down under a vehicle anymore to work on stuff. But truck's been out of inspection for quite a while because I haven't been able to do this project, and I'm just kind of at a point now to where I really need my vehicle, and I just got to do it. And I'm feeling better than I have in a while. It's temporary, I know that. This will have me laid up for quite some time, I'm sure. But anyway, got to get it done, and I can't afford to pay anybody. So here we go. Where we're at right now is, if you see the hanger here, let me reposition the camera here. Here's the hanger your converter sits on or rides on. Anyway, they give you a little bit of extra pipe, and I'm glad they do that. So I got to cut 4 inches off of the intermediate pipe, and if you see the hanger there, with the pipe the length that it is, it puts the catalytic converter 4 inches too far that way. So in order to get it even with the hanger bracket, we'll need to take 4 inches out. So I'll pull the pipe off, make the cut, and show you the progress as I go along if I'm able to. Guys, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing your mock-up, make sure that your oxygen sensor has good clearance before you finalize your fitment. But I've got it all mocked. O2 sensor real clear, and just want to throw that in there. Alright guys, got my 4 inches cut off my intermediate pipe. I'll smooth out the edges from the cut and mock it back up. Alright guys, before we mock it back up, I'm going to fire it up just to give that header sound. It's kind of obnoxious, and I'm hoping this truck will be as quiet as possible with the system I'm going to put on, but we shall see. Here we go, just the header. Alright guys, got the converter back on and just it's on there loose to where I can turn it. Anyhow, putting the studs in for the oxygen sensor on the rock ripper, intermediate tube. Anyhow, I've got stainless steel hardware for everything, all the nuts, the washers, everything that I'm using. I got stainless. Anyhow, putting anti-seize on everything and putting the studs in right now. I'm just using those two flange nuts as jam nuts to turn the studs in tight. I've got the gasket on, as you see, with the copper gasket spray on it, and I'm just going to mock it back up again. Anti-seize goes on everything. It's just something I'm going to do in case I ever have to disassemble anything in the future. Alright, on this Magnaflow 23886 catalytic converter for Toyota pickups, 22 REs. Mine's a 94 model, 4-wheel drive. Anyhow, they don't tell you, I don't think they had any instructions with the thing, not to say that they didn't and I possibly misplaced them. But anyway, on these converters, the proper way to install them is to put the heat shield up towards the bed of the truck and the serial number down. I wasn't sure, so I called them and got it straight from the horse's mouth. Heat shield goes up. I figured, hey, maybe, since it's for like off-road, they might have a heat shield down to, to keep from catching grasses and stuff on fire, since you've already got a heat shield on your vehicle. But I'm assuming they put the heat shield on there for, if you get an exhaust built and they don't place the converter where the old heat shield was, perhaps. That's just, a hypothesis. Maybe that's the case. Don't know. But anyway, Magnaflow 23886, heat shield up towards the bed, serial number down towards the asphalt or dirt or whatever. This is the bracket for the Toyota that goes on at the converter. And needless to say, you can see it no longer exists. So can't find any at our local auto parts stores, so I'm going to do the next best thing and make one myself. I'm going to grind all this down and get this flange. Okay, it's sitting right in front of me. I'm going to grind all the metal down. This is the flange here, and I will weld a piece of steel onto the old bracket corresponding with the bolt hole patterns, and this flange. This is a trail gear stainless flange. I mean, look at that weld. They make some awesome parts, and I don't want to be doing this ever again, because I'm probably less than an hour into today, and I think I'm going to be done for the day. I'm just in so much pain I can't do anymore. Getting down on the ground, and I just can't do it, man. It really bums you out. If anybody, I'm sure there's plenty of people that suffer that chronic pain, but I tell you, man, it'll destroy your friggin' life. Whoops. All right, guys, I got the header, converter, intermediate pipe, all that's hooked up. Everything's buttoned up tight, and I'm gonna fire it up just to see what it sounds like. Header with the converter and intermediate pipe, no muffler. I don't know if it's just because the exhaust port's closer to me, but it sounded louder than just a straight header. Well, we got to get that quieted down. We'll get the muffler put on. I'm done for the day. Alright guys, back to the project for as long as I can. This is the bracket here that was mounted to the original catalytic converter on the 94 Toyota 4-wheel drive. I'm going to make my own bracket because I couldn't find any anywhere, and this hanger's still perfectly good. I'm going to grind all the... You see this weld here? That had a piece that went down and bolted on to the converter bracket or flange. What I'm going to do is my exhaust pipe will go over top of this bar, so I'm going to weld this clamp onto the hanger like so. That way it'll be a good solid clamping point to adhere the converter to. But anyway, let me get the welded steel ground off of there, and then I'll get this made up and be ready to clamp it. I about got the grinding done on the bracket. You can see where they welded their material on there before. Just going to grind that away, grind all the rust off, get it welded up, and then paint it up. See if it can last another 20 plus years. This will be one of the few that's, don't think it's stainless. But of course I haven't put the magnet to it yet, but I think it's just a coated piece of regular steel. Alright, I got it cleaned up. Going to clamp the bracket on and weld it up. Guys, got the clamp all cleaned up and ready to go. As you can see, the apex of the circle has got plenty to clear on the pipe, so we can put our U-bolt in and tighten it up nicely. I'll go and get it tacked in place and we'll check the fitment. Alright, here's the clamp I made, all painted up. I think it turned out pretty good. Alright, here's what we got done so far. It's the header into the intermediate pipe. And that's the cross member, the transmission. Let's see. Catalytic converter, it's a Magnaflow. Here's the bracket that I had to make. Probably cut the tail of the U-bolts off just to keep it from grabbing anything. It just sticks down below the plane of the frame just a touch. It's an Steel clamp. And that's just mocked up right now, and I got the straight pipe running, and I just got the muffler hanging there now. The end closest to us is the height that I want it, and I need to come up on the far end a couple inches. I just got it halfway mocked into place where I had marked this pipe. Guys, here's the converter and the clamp that I made. I just got the straight pipe mocked in. just marking off the dimensions of the obstacles and the bends. Of course, there's the cross member. Mark the lines for the back plane of the cab. I'm not sure if you can see it with the light. And there's the start of the muffler in relation to where the straight pipe is. Of course, you can see the muffler there. But anyhow, I'm gonna, let's see. Okay. I'm probably gonna have about a 5 or 6 inch bend from the back of the cab here up to the inlet of the muffler. Right, guys, I'm going to mock up that one pipe in place. I got a kid's floaty tube and straightened out some coat hanger wire and run along the length of this floaty tube, and I'm going to try to mock it up corresponding to the bends that I need to make. But anyway, we'll see how that works, and then maybe I can just take this piece to the exhaust shop and see how much someone will charge me to bend that piece of exhaust. Right, guys, I got it mocked into place right now. Just this kid's floaty. And that will go to the muffler. So, hoping it's going to work. I'm going to take this floaty tube to the shop along with my straight pipe and get them to bend it according to those dimensions, and then that should work. So we shall see, I guess. Alright guys, I got the piece mocked up, and there it is. As I have the muffler positioned currently, that will work just fine. I just took coat hangers, taped to the outside of that floaty, and I put a piece of steel rod, I think it's 3/16 on the inside of it, and manipulated it as well to get the bend. But that's it. Hopefully they can bend the piece up for me for not too much money, but we will see. I already took the pipe to a local shop, and a guy bent it up for me. Anyway, I got it marked. I'm going to cut it now. Alright guys, I went to a local exhaust shop yesterday and got the guy to make me a couple bends for me to get this pipe bent up. Anyhow, I mean, he had one of them fancy hydraulic benders, and I mean, it did the job, but you can see it kind of crinkled it in there and there. I mean, but it works. And I've seen, you know, on probably a 80 some horsepower Toyota truck, it's not going to make a bit of difference. I was just, you know, thankful he was able to do it for me, and I'm getting ready to check and see if it fits now. I believe it will. But he was telling me stainless is kind of tricky to bend, and that He said the stainless that they carry is a little thicker wall than this one, so this is Borla 2 1/4 inch. I bought just their raw straight pipe, 2 5-foot sections to do what I need to do. And but he said the tubing that they carry is a little thicker, so he says it usually bends a little better. But anyway, I was just thankful he was kind enough to do it for me. He didn't charge me anything. He just told me. He just told me don't tell anybody that I did it. So I don't guess he was too pleased with that, but I think it'll work just fine. It's not picture perfect, and I don't know if it'd be worth taking the trouble and heating it with a torch or not. Trying that route. Alright guys, these are pieces of Borla stainless rod. I think it's about 3/16. It goes in your rubber grommets. Anyway, I'm gonna make another clamp to secure the muffler to under the hangers. And I heated that up with just a little propane torch and bending it at a 90. I'm gonna do the same with this one and just fabricate me up some clamps to support the muffler. I already got my pieces. I got the first bends made on my hanger pieces. And you can see I got a template here that I drew up. That's where the exhaust pipe comes through on the muffler, and here's the hangers, as you can see, the rubber grommets for your hangers. Anyway, they're going to go through like so, hang down, and I'm going to weld this clamp on and make my own hanger bracket. So that ought to turn out pretty good. I'll show you just in a minute. You guys got to weld it up. I'm going to knock the crud off of it. Like the Borla mufflers I got, I think they're the Pro XS series. Anyway, the ones I got, they didn't have the notch cut in them, so I'll take the grinder and cut a notch out in it because I'm using clamps on it. But that's the motor I got. I tried it out with the muffler on it, and it sounds pretty good. It's not super loud, or I don't guess it's too loud, but I was wanting it as quiet as I could get, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it is. Right, here's the custom bracket I made for the rear. I ended up having to take an inch of height out of the whole thing. I guess I got my jig off somehow or another, but anyway, it worked out. Looks pretty good. Got it painted up. Say it will last the test of time. But yeah, let it dry and get the muffler put on, and then we'll be left with the tailpipe.